A Greek Stoic philosopher by the name of Epictetus posed the thought that people are not disturbed by external events, but by their judgments about those events. Hello and welcome to Torches, Yoga and Mindfulness. I'm Lauren and I'll be your coach. Before we get started today on the 8th skill of mindfulness, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already, and share with a friend who could use a moment of peace and balance in their day. And check the description below for a link to book your free 15-minute clarity call with me, where we can talk about your goals with mindfulness and what it could look like in your life. All right, friend, let's get mindful. While Epictetus lived nearly 2,000 years ago, his philosophy that our power lies in how we respond to what life gives us and not in controlling external events is still just as true today as it was then. Today, we are diving into the 8th and final skill of mindfulness, which is equanimity. When we talk about equanimity in mindfulness, we don't just mean having a balanced mood. Equanimity is not suppressing or numbing our emotions. It's not about staying positive no matter what, or pretending things don't bother you. And it's definitely not apathy. Instead, equanimity is kind of an inner spaciousness, a calm, quiet presence that can hold whatever you're feeling without getting swept away by it. It's like being the sky that holds the weather. Emotions can storm, thoughts can swirl, but the sky doesn't panic. It allows, it witnesses, and it returns to stillness. This doesn't mean we don't care. It means we respond from clarity, not chaos. So in psychology, the quality we call equanimity shows up as emotional regulation and cognitive reappraisal. And that's just a fancy clinical way of describing our brain's natural ability to feel emotions fully without getting overwhelmed, spiraling into fear or anger, or reacting on impulse. So the PFC, our prefrontal cortex, helps us with decision making and guides us to understanding situations we are in and how to respond to them. Most importantly, the PFC is what helps us to take that powerful pause that allows us to respond instead of react. Mindfulness practices strengthen that connection over time. They help us to shift from automatic reactive patterns into what researchers call top-down regulation. This means our higher brain functions start guiding the emotional system and not the other way around. Equanimity also connects with our nervous system, specifically the ventral vagal state. If you've seen some of my other videos, this may sound familiar. From the breathing exercises we do, like the VU breath, to stimulate our vagus nerve. The ventral vagal state is part of the polyvagal theory, and this just describes how the vagus nerve influences our emotional and physiological responses. Essentially, it's activated when we feel safe, connected, calm, and grounded. From that state, a calm, open, grounded state, our body gets signals that we're safe. We don't need to fight or freeze. We can stay present and connected here. This balance of the brain and body regulation is what allows the equanimity to be more than just a nice idea. It becomes a felt sense, a real shift in how we move through our day and experiences, allowing us to show up how we want to. And the good news is we don't need to wait for a perfect moment where we already feel in balance or at peace. You don't need to be sitting in a sound bath meditation. In fact, equanimity grows best when we're slightly challenged. A powerful way we can start to cultivate equanimity within ourselves is by thought labeling. If you've been around the channel before, you've probably heard me talk about this. You can do a thought labeling practice during an emotionally charged experience or after the fact in reflection. If it's in the moment where you become aware that a strong emotion is rising, pause. Take that powerful pause we've talked about and name the emotion. This is frustration. This is sadness. Naming our emotions helps us to step out of the storm and into observation. Then breathe just one full, deep, mindful breath. And instead of trying to logic your way through it by asking, why is this here? Why is this happening? Ask yourself, can I let this be here for just a moment? You're not agreeing with it. You're not approving it. You're simply saying, I can hold this without collapsing under it. You can give yourself some compassionate encouragement for that moment you're holding space, for the intense emotion, with a grounding mantra. Like, this is uncomfortable, but not unbearable. This too belongs. Or, I can meet this moment with calm. These are like anchors, something steady for us to hold on to while the waves pass through. And they will pass. Equanimity, like all other mindful practices, isn't about achieving this perfect state that you will forever remain in. It's a practice of returning. Each time we return, it makes it easier for us to return the next time and even stay a little longer with each visit. You will lose your center. You will forget to pause. You will react before you breathe. And that is perfectly normal and perfectly fine because you will also remember and you will come back. That's the work. Every return makes us stronger. Before, I've mentioned that there are no prerequisites for mindfulness. And while equanimity is a skill of its own, it's more like an integrated expression of all the others working together. We've explored special practices to sharpen our mindfulness skills and specific ways to build focus, to deepen our awareness, and to strengthen our compassion towards ourselves and others. But equanimity is different. It's not just one more tool. It's more like the culmination of everything we've been building. It's what starts to naturally arise when those other skills begin to take root. To stay present in a challenge, we need awareness so that we can catch ourselves in the moment instead of getting swept away into the spiral. We need compassion so we can soften towards ourselves and towards others rather than reacting from fear or frustration. And we need curiosity to stay open to new options and responses instead of defaulting to our old habits and patterns. When we bring all of that together, something shifts. The extremes start to even out, the high highs and the low lows become easier to navigate, and we begin to experience steadiness that isn't about control, it's about capacity. Equanimity isn't cold or detached, it's warm, it's aware, and it's engaged. It's what allows us to move through life with clarity, kindness, and a deeper kind of strength. I have some mantras I'll list in the description if you would like to welcome them into your practice. And remember, this doesn't have to look perfect. It might start with one breath, one pause, one moment of noticing before reacting. And that's the beginning. That's the return. Equanimity isn't something you force. It's something you grow into by showing up again and again with presence. If you would like to experience it more directly, make sure you check out the guided meditation I have for you this week, where we will embody the steady, grounded nature of a mountain, calm, unmoving, and deeply present no matter what's passing through. Remember, friend, even just a tiny moment of intentionally practicing any of the mindful skills plants a seed. And over time, those seeds grow into strength, clarity, and peace. Friend, thank you so much for sharing a piece of your day with me today. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and I will see you soon.